ERP consultant, Toastmaster Rishi Raj. He's an ERP consultant, Toastmaster since 3 years. He likes to stay fit by participating in marathons. He loves watching anime and eating different types of food. He also has his own YouTube channel, which I have seen and would recommend you all to see, which has a lot of ideas that he shares about foods. Today, Toastmaster Rishi is going to present to us on a very special topic for our Toastmasters meeting. To know what it is all about, I'm going to hand over the virtual stage to Toastmaster Rishi. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rowan, for that wonderful introduction. And hello, everyone. Good evening once again. First of all, thank you
Good
for
evening.
taking out. First of all, thank you for taking out your time to attend this meeting, education session rather. So I'll quickly share my screen and we'll start. Um, just let me know when my screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible now.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
So
we can
close.
see the
Yes.
PPT.
Okay. So let's start. So, this session, closing the sale, although it sounds like we are trying to convert, specifically if someone is interested in membership or VP membership role, this sounds like a role or a session dedicated towards converting guests to members, but it's just not that. What the agenda of the today's session is how our clubs meetings each role, each participant, be it guests, be it the speakers, be it the role players, how we perform, how we interact in a meeting ensures that everyone's experience stays standard and up to the mark that they were expecting. And at the same time, the new members or be the guests that are potentially looking to become members of Toastmasters in general understand. So this is like a sales funnel, but to with a specific objective that each role has to be properly carried out so that we can finally have our conversions. Now, how it goes. First and foremost, in like I mentioned, meeting roles and standards. So there are many important elements for any of us who are in this meeting, who have attended our club meetings, have seen we have various roles. It could be starting from SaaS role to add to our prepared speeches, to the tag team, table topping master. There are various roles. What's important is that we firstly start our meetings on time and end on time. Now, there's a very important reason as to why this is being said. This is just not to ensure that because the agenda has been prepared that way. It shows discipline. And it also ensures that we take care of each and every attendee's time. We value their time. Because even a delay of 1 minute in total, let's just say our meetings are 3 to 6 p.m., 3 hours. Let's just say we delay, we finish our meeting at 6:03. That is 3 minute delay. We are not delaying it by 3 minutes. We are actually delaying it by three into the number of people attending that meeting. So that's the amount of time that is being wasted. That's why it is suggested to come on time, end the meeting on time. That shows that we are punctual, we are professional, and we are preparing ourselves for any future professional setups as well. So, concurrently, if we have to start and end on time, we need our participants to come early to the meetings and be prepared. Why? Simple. If we coming early and means that we can start the meeting on time. True. But being prepared, because every role player, every speaker who is on stage has to not only reflect what they have learned and what they want to improve on, but at the same time leave an impression on the newcomers who are also going to see you and learn from you, because what we see is what we register in our mind. So if today I go on stage and not fumble, I intentionally take more time to complete my speeches. Now, deliberately knowing that I will be over exceeding my time limit and still going ahead with that, then that leaves an impression to the new member specifically that I can also do that. And this makes a domino or a cascading effect where everyone starts to do that. So that's why we have to ensure that we don't do that, and it gives a positive impact. Third, club officers fulfilling their responsibilities. Now, what this normally involves XCOM. Now, XCOM mostly works behind the scenes. I think I have some chat and messages also. I'll take it at later on. So, what continuing to my point, each of the XCOM most of the time are working behind the scenes. Be it the VP education deciding what the agenda is, who the speaker would be, who the role player is. That's a very heavy lifting task. Then maybe it could be membership of the PR team working so that the guests can arrive. If each of these roles, correspondingly, the secretary ensuring the agenda comes out, Sam ensuring the meeting starts on time, making sure all the things that we are having, the stationary items, the refreshments. When each of these things, if you see in individual pockets of elements, you'll realize if they are not carried out properly, experiences start to drop. And so goes the new members' experience. Next 2 points are meeting proceeds at good pace, and these 2 points, what this means is meeting proceeds at good pace means basically, if we see the agenda, if you have ever seen the agenda, it's broken down into multiple parts. First is a prepared speech round, second is a table topics, third is a evaluation. Now there is break time. There are time limits allotted to each segment. For example, 30 minutes is for speech slots. Then the Toastmasters of the day, the ones who are conducting the meeting on the day, need to ensure that as much as possible we stick to the timelines, because the first and second point that I mentioned, if we start delaying over there, someone has to catch up. Let's take an example. 3 to 6 p.m. is our meeting. Till 4 p.m. we have to finish with our prepared speech rounds. Suppose for prepared speech round ends at 4:10. That's a 10-minute delay that has happened. It could be because of natural causes, something that cannot be controlled. But the next role player, which is the table topic master, now they have to figure out how they compensate it so that they can come back on time. So that a meeting finishes on time. That is at 6 p.m. This is for our club. That's how the things work. And when all of this starts to happening, that's when you will realize that members who are attending the meeting, be the club members or the guests, they feel enthusiastic, they feel valued, and the money that they have paid, they get the return out of it. So that's what an important element of our club, of any sale is, because this is ultimately our product, that our club meetings, the Toastmasters membership, that is a product. And these are all the sub parts of it. So when all the things align, then the experiences improve, then the new members feel valued, the guests also convert. And lastly, the projects that are being delivered, speeches or the roles, each of them are manual project. That's why it is said preparation is important. So in your dashboard, whenever we see those things, or how the speeches have to be done, what each role has to be done, how it is supposed to be done, what preparation you need, you interact with your mentors or the senior Toastmasters so that you can prepare accordingly. That's the crux of it. Now let's go to the next part. Now comes the actual sales part, which is necessarily seen in the VP membership role, but you'll soon, like I mentioned initially, you'll soon realize that each participants of a meeting are involved in it. So first is a win-win concept. Now, what's a win-win concept is simple. Every member or a guest who is coming to the meeting, let's take an example of guest. I'll narrow it down. If a guest, let's just say we have 10 guests on an average, we have seen in the past 1 year. 10 members come in, and most of them try to take the membership by the next month. That's a win-win situation. Why? Because in the earlier slide I mentioned all those elements have been intact. So whoever came to the meeting, including the members and the guests, they saw what is being delivered in that meeting, the product of Toastmasters, each element, how you're transitioning, how each one is speaking. If they are making mistake, they are not only being suggested how to improve upon it, they are also working at the same time. Guests see this as a way of safety net, and they realize this is a place. I think, Tosma Rowan, you have raised your hand.
Yes, we have a couple of members waiting in the lobby to be let in. Nasreen and Neeraj.
Alright.
Yes, sorry for the interruption.
No worries. I have admitted. Okay, just give me one second. Yes, coming back. So I'll start this section again. So we are talking about the win-win concept. Now, what a win-win concept is, I mentioned about Toastmasters being a product, each role being a sub-product of it. When a guest comes in, and specifically taking the example of guest over here, when a guest comes in the meeting, they are unaware of what to expect. Maybe they have had some interaction with any other Toastmaster, or it could be the membership team before they decided to attend this meeting, but they have very limited knowledge, only theoretical. They see all the club members perform in front of the audience members. Each role, each speeches, table topics, evaluation. That's the product being delivered to them. When they see the smooth transitioning, when they see each element being carried out properly, people not being flawless, but ensuring that they stick and complete their respective roles and tasks properly, the guests feel valued and they are able to make their decision as to whether I should come more as a guest or actually now consider membership, because I want to be now in the position of themselves, the others that they're seeing. So this is the win-win situation where the guest sees the value of the product and they eventually take the membership. That's now, if you see throughout the process, there is no way of involving a VP membership once they come to the meeting. It's every member ensuring that they deliver the product properly to the newcomers, to the potential joins. This is the win-win concept. Now let's go to the next one, which is win and lose concept. In win-win concept, we are saying that whoever guest came, they attended and they converted. Now in win-lose, a guest comes, they see the values, they convert as a member also, but what happens is the decision taken by the guest is half-baked. Half-baked means they were not completely sure as to why they have joined. They are still figuring it out. It could be figuring out could also could include time schedules, how they will attend the meetings. It could include how to approach for taking roles, how to prepare for speeches. It could be multiple angles over here. That's when the confusion starts within the new members, and we as club members in general, not just the mentors and excom in general, needs to ensure giving us peace and safe haven that whatever confusion they have, clarify it out and always be in a position to try and take roles so that they can feel comfortable. After that, it's up to the new joinees as to how to do it. But this is how the win-loss situation comes in. But if this is not followed, then this particular set of people who joined as members may eventually fade out and lose, and they won't even renew their memberships later on. And you will be question, and we as club members or leadership will question as to why they even stopped coming if they had made the decision to join. Next is the lose-lose situation. This is a situation where guest comes in, or even let us say a new joinee also. They understand everything that they have to see over here, but they don't feel this product is for them. It could mostly happen because when they saw the meeting, when they experienced it, the value was not being able to translate to them. It happens sometimes. The meeting does not go well for us. There are many disruptions happening. The transitions are not smooth. This could happen. Worst case scenario days. That's when you can expect these members to not come as a guest also, or maybe even think about becoming a member in future. This is a lose-lose situation. Something that every club has to avoid, even try to avoid, because for bringing even one guest, there's a lot of effort being put in by the PR team specifically and membership or even XCOM in general, because these are behind the scenes role. And if they're attending and not joining or even considering, then the efforts are lost, time is. So we try to avoid to be in this situation. We always try to be in the first segment, which is a win-win situation, because that's where everyone's time, money, and value is being respected. Now let's go to the next section. If you have any questions, you can either use the chat box to write, or I'll be finishing on in next 10 minutes and we can discuss on that. Now, let's take a scenario, next scenario. We have had guests, meeting has started, etc. Guests normally, or even new joinees, have very fundamental questions as to what I will gain out of Toastmasters. Because in the regular meetings, a guest, especially your new joinees, have very limited interaction, very limited chances. So they're still figuring it out. That's when we as senior Toastmasters, or anyone who has actually got 60-70% understanding of what Toastmasters is, how it is helping them, can reach out or can just interact with them and tell them the few benefits. For example, the one present in front of you, improved speaking abilities. The most common thing that each of us is coming here over here is improving our communication skills, improving our confidence. So if by example, any of the experienced members, any of the regular club members can tell these guests how they could improve their speaking abilities, how they have been utilizing it in their work or any other segments of their life that they use it for, that can give the guests, newcomers, a sense of understanding, a connection, and they can potentially think of starting the membership also. Next, we can discuss about or talk about leadership development. Now, in Toastmasters, leadership is volunteer basis, and every role is like a leadership role. Be it team or be it a tag roles. Why? Because you're in front of people explaining how the role is being done. You're showcasing by setting an example. That's the same thing that you do in your regular life. When your moment comes in by of about, let's just say, planning an event or maybe taking a hold of a corporate group discussion, team meeting, these things start to translate when you practice over here by taking opportunities. It started to reflect in your office. Happened with me also personally. I've seen that development in me. So we can discuss on that, how a particular tricky scenario came in my office and I could handle it properly. So that was because I had a similar scenario at Toastmasters where I had to lead a meeting. You can discuss that part. Better social skill is a complementary ability benefit. I already discussed speaking abilities led to social skills. It could include small talks. It could include, and that's where table topics also comes into the picture. Why social skills include? Maybe you were someone who were not very good at one-to-one interaction in any scenario. It could just be with your friends also. You were feeling awkward to just discuss about anything. But because you started to attend meetings, you started to take those roles, could be table topics, impromptu sessions, you started to see benefit over there. So this is also something that you can mention. You don't have to be salesy and artificially cook some stories. Better to keep it real and keep realistic expectations. That helps because unrealistic expectations if you try to set at this point, even the guest or potential joinee can figure it out. So always avoid that part. So last one was greater self-esteem. So self-esteem is basically confidence, in simple terms. So if you're confident, if you started to see confidence developing, but not just in regular speaking, it could be in offices, it could be in maybe at a home also in general, where you are able to not just speak, command situation, direct someone, help someone out. It's visible in front of you. It's visible in yourself, and you can let others know that how it happens. We give a small story around it and tell them, come again, attend few meetings, and then decide how to do it. These are some of the very simple benefits. Additionally, you can go a little technical also. How we see this, we have a curriculum, we have a dashboard where speeches are mentioned, all rules are mentioned. So you can use that example as to how the structured curriculum is. It's user friendly, it's self-paced. You don't have to rush to complete everything in a month. You can take 1 year or 2 years also, and everyone is going to support you. You can take these examples also, very textbook examples that we can use. So that's one thing. Lastly, we'll come to the final part, which is an acronym that is being used, which is CLOSE. So in all the examples or whatever I've said till now, when they interact with these potential members or guests, they will ask you some very simple questions also. Toastmaster is not the only platform available for communication. There are many educators available. There are many different programs, and it's true also. So if they ever ask you why not that, why not this, or why Toastmasters is doing so well, because they are a more than 101 years organization, Toastmasters. You can simply give a simple comparison over there, which is Toastmasters in general is providing you a platform, a regular platform where you will be on stage, classroom, whatever it is. So you are in front of people. So whatever you might be practicing or maybe so resources you're using to study, you still need a platform to practice. That's where Toastmasters come in. And at a very fraction of a cost, whatever the membership cost is, you get so many meetings at club and external clubs, contests are there. So that you can give a small comparison, nothing overboard than that. Next is what we'll use. C for compare. L for lose. Now, what does lose mean? If someone has decided to improve about their communication skill or public speaking, all the soft skills that they are talking about, the bucket of soft skills, Just ask them a simple thing. What do you have to lose if you're deciding to join such program as Toastmasters or public speaking helping also? The only thing you're losing out if you're not joining is an opportunity. That's the biggest loss you have. Otherwise, you're only gaining. You're gaining chances, you're gaining to be part of a community which is supportive. All of this is there, and they are already in the meeting to see that. So you can tell that. So, thirdly, you can share your opinions, examples that I already mentioned about your own opinion that you have built, your examples that you have been experiencing, how it has maybe improved, helped you in your offices. Also, the most prominent thing that people come here for is I have heard I've interacted with so many people that at office my role is getting more leadership development. I need to manage the teams. I need to speak more than do maybe the hard skills part. So that's where you can share your personal opinions and personal examples. And you can do this using the fourth element, which is story. Make a story around it, whatever you are feeling, and not just bullet points, because people want to connect with you right here because they are making a decision. So if you cook a simple story, let's say, example, uh, let's say my in the last role used to be uh, oriented where I had to only deliver stuff. I did not used to interact with people much. But as the time progressed, 1 year later, I had to deal with teams. There were 4 or 5 people under me. That was a natural transition. I was facing difficulty. I found Toastmasters as a way, or maybe any other program as a way. It helped me. It gave me elements to work on. I started practicing it, and it's naturally resulted in me helping my team gain more deals, getting more converts, not converts, making more product releases, etc., and also handling them properly, getting bonuses. Also, you can use these kind of stories and examples to complete that part. So, all in all, if I have to summarize, if I have to give a simple briefing from the beginning, like I mentioned, each element of the club meeting, be it your team mod role, be it your SAR role, be it your speeches, when performed properly, sets an example in front of the new guests that what this is what I will expect from the meeting, because that's a standard that we have to set every day. And when they see the value, and when they interact with you guys, so where you tell them about your personal stories, your developments, that helps the members, sorry, not members, guests, actually consider membership. And then the VP membership comes into the picture, which is the last minute transaction, not last minute transaction, the last transaction, what is the value, how much to do, how the membership will work. That's a last minute, last thing that we discussed. Before that, the element of the meeting is the crux. If this is where the club starts to see challenges, they're not able to fix it, members will not come. Even the members who are present in the club will start to leave because they want their value, basically the ROI. So this is what this entire session was about, closing the sale. And now I open the floor for any questions. We have 10 minutes. I'll stop sharing the screen also. If there are any questions, you can ask me.
Amarjeet, Gavin, Nasreen, Nilesh, anyone has any questions? You can unmute yourselves now, all of you.
I don't have any question. It was great you explained, Rishi. I was able to understand everything. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Amajit. Okay, now you're Toastmaster, Amajit. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, no questions, Rishi, but I really liked the session and I especially like the close acronym at the end. So thanks for
Yeah.
that.
Welcome.
Very well explained, Rishi, with simple, real life examples that you gave. It was very nice and very easy to relate with. Thank you for that.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the opportunity also. And
Yeah, no questions, Rishi. It was well explained. Nice.
thank you, thank
And
you.
I like I liked your slides also. They were very simple, not cluttered at all, easy to understand.
That's courtesy of Toastmasters. I didn't prepare this one.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
actually Rishi's tagline, keep it simple. He always says that, and he always does that.
Yeah, why to clutter? Okay, so I'll stop the recording then.
Yes.